Hey guys, are you feeling a little tightness in your bait caster and maybe you're not getting the distance like you used to on your cast? Well, I'm going to show you how to open up your reel body, get into the gears, and show you where to oil and grease them. Let's go! Alright, so I got one type of oil, one type of grease that I always use. I got my Lucas Reel Oil over here, and I got my Penn Precision Reel Grease over here. And guys, I buy these just like you do. I'm not sponsored. I just like how they perform. Alright, so before you hop in, I'm hopefully going to make some of your lives a whole lot easier where you won't actually need to watch the rest of this video, because on my Shimano SLX, you actually have to take apart the handle and the star drag and all that stuff we'll get to in a moment. But on the Lub's Baitcaster, as you can see right here, there's actually a lubrication port where you don't have to take apart your entire reel to get into it. So all you gotta do is have a screwdriver, pop this off. You can see the main gear drive, put a little grease on that, and you'll be good to go. But if you don't have that lubrication port, most likely you don't own a Lub's, and you have something like this one, which is a Shimano SLX, and so you're gonna have to take apart all this stuff. I'm gonna walk you through how to do it. Now, before you start, I highly recommend you do this over some type of white towel. There are some small parts in this bad boy, and as you'll see in a moment, if you do it over carpet, or do it over a hard surface, they could bounce off and you could lose them forever. All right, so the first thing you have to do, and some of these have lock caps, but first you're gonna need a really small screwdriver. Unscrew that. All right, real tiny. I'm gonna start placing these in order on how I take them off. And so when I put it back on, I just go in reverse and I won't have any questions about it. So go pop that off, goes right there. Next, you're gonna need a 10mm wrench. Take off this nut right there. So make that really easy. All right, now be really careful when you take off your handle, because this is spring loaded. Some of these are spring loaded in here. And so as this comes off, keep your hand on the star drag underneath. So pop that off. All right, keep pressure on this right here. Now, this is gonna be, when you turn your star drag, it makes that clicking sound, your clicker. So I'll slowly remove the star drag. I'm gonna leave this facing up over here so nothing falls out. You've got this cap, and if you slowly peel this back, you also notice tiny, tiny pieces. All right, so a little metal piece right there. There's a tiny little spring under that, and you set that in there, and then that little knob on the top will go against these little knobs all around this piece of plastic, and it makes that clicking drag sound. So I'm going to keep that like it is, set it to the right. I'm not really going to mess with that, so I'm going to leave that. There's literally 4 pieces right there. All right, next, I'm going to remove the spring, this guy, set that right there, and go ahead and unscrew this guy. All right. So, there's a washer right there. So as I take this off, I'm gonna do one of 2 things. I'm gonna take this off, set it down, and then there's a bunch of different washers in here. So I'm gonna try to get them all at once. Gonna pull them off. There's 3 of them. And so I just need to grab those and put them back on. Now that we have all this stuff off, now you have to take off your reel body cap. And so this might be different for yours, but I got 1, 2, and then the inside 3, 4. So I'm going to remove those. And keep in mind, as you remove these, a lot of times these screw lengths and even the threads are different. So just keep that in mind whenever you're taking them off. All right, as you can see here, these 2 sizes are the same. However, these 2 threads are different and the lengths are different. So I just keep a mental note how those came out so you can put them back in. All right, now go ahead and slowly, this side up, slowly peel this off. There you go. Go ahead and place that down. Now, highly recommend keeping this up at all times. If you were to turn this over, a lot of these pieces would fall out and it'd be difficult to know where they actually belong. All right, so what you have here, guys, is you get your main drive gear and you have a pinion gear. And that's literally all I see that I need to grease. And so I'm going to put some grease on the outside of these tines, and that will, in default, when I turn it, grease your pinion gear, and then you're good to go. Look, I got some grease in here from, looks like it's factory stock. So go and grab my Penn reel grease. You don't need to put a ton of this, probably 20%. Gonna go around the outside, stick it on there every ½ inch or so. Do not pack this in there like crazy. It's just gonna gum up over time. All right, I like what I see. All right, put this gun back on. All right, nice tight fit. Got my small screws on the outside. Short one on the outside over here. Good, a long one on the inside. 3 washers. Got my nut. It's aluminum, I can tell.
I'm just holding this with my hands. I would have put a pair of pliers on here. If you have a pair of plastic pliers, you could hold the drive here, but I don't. So I'm just going to hand tighten this. Spring. Carefully pick up your star drive. Make sure all those pieces are in there accordingly. Just going to double check real fast, make sure that's in place. It is. Handle. 10mm nut. Little crank. Then cap back on.
All right, so that was the advanced way to really get inside your reel body, get your main drive gear and your pinion gear greased up. However, I have a basic video of 10 places where you want to use this, the oil, to really get this thing as smooth as butter. And I imagine if you're greasing and oiling your baitcaster, then you want to do the same to your spinning reels. So I got those videos right there.